Chats episode 7. Back at it.
7.
Joe, I got something on my mind today, man.
7.
Man. What the fuck is with this youth's obsession with fame, bro?
With this what?
The youth's obsession with fame, man. So, like, got a couple different angles I want to take this one in. But, like, it's just something I've been thinking about. Full disclosure, this was something that I was thinking about bringing up the very first pod we had. But it just never had an avenue to get it out there. But, like, it's something I've been thinking about for a bit, man. It's something that I've seen a lot of. So, like...
Sides.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, it feels weird. I was standing where you stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Continue. Sorry. Yeah, this is much better.
So, like, I've been thinking about this for a while, right? So, like, background, like, I don't use any social media, right? Like, I don't use Instagram. Facebook's kind of an old person one now. I've never been on TikTok. Like, me and Joey snap each other a picture of our face in the morning with no text. And that's, like, the most social media engagement that I'll do in a day, you know?
For
like,
over 1,000 days in a row.
Oh, buddy, over 1,500 right now. Like, we're cooking. This has been a couple of years of work, but yeah, like, I don't scroll anything. I'm not on TikTok. I don't do Insta. Like, I don't do any of the fucking other platforms, X or Twitter.
I've been so bad on my phone lately, man. Last week I averaged 6.5 hours of screen time.
Word. I mean, like, also.
And I don't podcast. I don't really listen to music, so that's like hard scrolls.
Fair. Yeah, fuck, I hear that.
And I don't have Instagram or Facebook, so I'm like
Okay,
searching it out.
Yeah.
YouTubing it, Googling it, fantasy.
So, like, I'll do YouTube
Oh.
because, like, I think YouTube's a little bit different in that,
Yeah,
like,
don't give me your long form content spiel, or I'll pull up our messengers full of reels that you send me.
I'll watch a couple of reels, but, like,
long form content.
But, like, I think YouTube, right, like, the algo, bro, my algo's dialed. I've been, like, curating this delicately for, like, years so that it sends me, like, cool shit that I like with the long-form content, bro,
Same.
that just gets added to the list, and I'll grind that out. Like,
YouTube's a safe place.
It's a good place, man. There's a lot of wildness, but, like, I feel like in terms of social media, like, it stands separate from this other shit, you know? Like, it's not like TikTok. It's not like Insta. It's not like any of these other, like, super popular platforms. I think there's a bit more, like, meat to it, at least in the shit that I use it for, right? But getting back to this original idea, man. Youth's obsession with fame. So, like, one thing, I watched a video this week into, like, this is in, like, workout content and stuff like that, right? I watched this boy that'll basically, like, give kind of just, like, social commentary on, like, the tropes of the day and whatnot. And, like, one of the things he brought up was, like, how all of these, like, young guys are, like, going on Tren and other, like, just, like, crazy steroid stacks to basically get, like, Instagram or TikTok clout, like, social media clout, try and use that to, like, sell their workout plans and, like, whatever, and, like, basically just try and turn a buck on doing this, right? But it's like, man, some of these people are fucking young, bro. Like, these kids are, like, 16 years old.
Okay, well,
starting taking gear, man.
This isn't a new phenomenon, though. Like, we can look and take it all the way back to fucking Z's. Or Ziz. Do you remember that guy? Get shredded cunt?
No, yeah.
Do you remember?
ZYZZ.
Sick cunt. Yeah, sick cunts only, dude. He fucking died because he was a steroid user, like, into the insane amounts, and, like, rest in peace, you know? It's life gone too soon either way, but, like, yeah, I mean, it was, like, definitely, like, holy shit. And, like, dude, he promoted it. I literally, in my high school, had, like, 8, like, literally, I'm not even kidding, probably 8 guys that I knew personally in, like, grade 11 or grade 12 that were, like, on heavy fucking gear, being like, I'm sick, cunt. Like, you're sick, cunt. Like, just emulating this guy so bad. They wanted to be this guy, man. Yeah. Like, you know, like...
But I think that's even an important distinction to make, right? Is because, like, you even think of, like, the Ziz era, right? Like, this is, like, what, early 2010 kind of thing?
Yeah.
Bro, this is pre-TikTok. This is like
this is YouTube.
This is pre-Insta.
This is heavy YouTube.
This is like before social media as like the construct we know it today even really existed. And the reason I think that's important is like
the flag had been planted though, I think, at this point.
I think fair enough, but
like Facebook was around,
that...
YouTube was around. There were some big influencers on YouTube at this time, but they weren't doing. It was a different beast.
It was a different beast. I think that there was a lot of times we're specifically talking about gear use with people, right? Where it was kind of like this taboo to talk about it. It's like, people would say that they're like, oh, I'm this or that, and I've trained, I've never touched anything. But then it's like, you look at them as compared to like, a really good, athletic, strong fucking person. You're like, oh, these are like, this is a fucking dog to a horse I'm looking at. You know what I mean? And so like, there's definitely a consideration to be had on like, just the amount of secrecy around it that existed versus the amount of transparency that exists with it now. But like, in general, man, I think that the platform creates the broadcasting opportunity and the monetization opportunity, which is rapidly exacerbated this type of interaction, right? Because people now see like, they see a format. They're like, okay, I can fucking go super hard on gear, get insanely huge for my age, right? A bunch of people who aren't in the know will then gravitate to what I say because I have the appearance that they're looking for, right? And then I can sell them merchandise and products. And some of these guys want to go into like professional bodybuilding and stuff, right? Like they're like, oh, road to IFBB and whatever, right? But it's like, bro, some of these people, man, like you look at them. Like there's this one kid in particular that like, I'll mention that the video that I mentioned was chatting about, and he's like, bro, this kid is 21 years old, has a CPAP machine that he takes to the gym with him. Because it's like, bro, his skin, fucked. Like, he literally looks like someone who's like, he looks like a 40-year-old man, and he's like 21 years old, dude. Been doing gear for like 5 years. And it's just like, it's crazy.
It's an addiction.
You're 21 years old and you're on a CPAP machine, man.
It's an addiction.
Fair.
That needs to be addressed too. It's like the fact that like, I think that's a wild claim to make, but like in my opinion, someone that is using steroids outside of like an athletic use, outside of like a corticosteroid use where it's like for anabolic reasons, like for your like respiratory, that sort of thing, healing, anything like practical is fine. The moment that it begins to be like, it's just like any other disorder. The moment it becomes about like a body image thing, and like, unless again, like competition, man, like I'm talking about like, bodybuilding competitions, weightlifting, powerlifting, those kind of competitions, man, like not so much bodybuilding, but I'd say weightlifting, powerlifting, like, yeah, fuck yeah, man, you're gonna lift 900 pounds, man, like have a shot, I don't mind if you stick it in your ass, dude. That's so fine with me. Give it like double dose, dude. Like. Yeah,
but again, I think we're talking about two different things. Like,
leading to it. Sorry, we were rambling on, but yeah, like in my thing was like, if you're using it for like body image, like 16 years old, like this kid is like, man, he was either gonna find cocaine or he was gonna find tren.
But I think
in my mind,
I think it's the difference of like, the fact that there's an avenue for this person to essentially like sacrifice their future for the sake of this momentary blip of like notoriety and monetization attached to that notoriety. It's just wild to me, man.
I don't think many 16-year-old kids are selling workout plans, to be honest. But
no, but like I say, this kid started gear when he's 16. He's 21 now.
Yeah.
Right? Looks like he could be probably like, again, super unhealthy physical appearance, but relative to his like muscularity gain he's had,
yeah,
bro looks like a horse,
Yeah.
If he tells you to get big like him, you do ABC,
yeah,
and he puts that onto a program that he can sell to someone,
yeah,
bro, some kid who's like 120 pounds and 5'10" is literally going to be like, yeah, I need that. And any other supplements you're telling me to take, I'm going to take them. You know?
Man, I mean, like, we can look at that from so many different lenses, bro. You could look at that as, like, the 16-year-old kid who started selling dope at 16, or 21-year-old kid who started selling dope at 16, and, like, now has, like, $400K in the bank and, like, you know, a brand new whip, and you're like, man, you're 21. Like, how are you, like, so nuts? And, like, this guy will tell you absolutely anything you want to hear, man. I just think, like, kids like this, man, I think that, like, at the end of the day, it's nothing new. We've seen it before. It's a system that's capitalized on these type of people for, like, the last 50 to 60 years, man. Like, there's always been 16-year-old kids ripping roids, man, since Arnie, dude. Like, it's just always been a thing. And it's, like, I think that it's just another avenue that's been, like, widely introduced via the internet, and, like, exposing that layer even further. It's just, like, you used to have these guys who would be on the internet being like, oh, I don't do steroids. Now it's, like, guys are on the internet being like, yeah, no, like, I'm, like, to get like this, you have to rip steroids, you know, like, because they know they're going to get exposed. The internet's way too big at this point. You can't lie. So it's, like, you have a whole new generation in the last 10 years of guys coming out on the internet that are like, oh yeah, by the way, I take steroids, like, openly, admittedly, like, you want, like, I'm fine, look at my life, it's great, like, and I'm shredded, I'm jacked, and, like, it's the only way you're gonna, like, get past that level that you're stuck at. You now have a bunch of 16-year-old kids, man, that are, like, looking at these people the same way that, like, unfortunately you see, like, young girls look at, like, fashion icons who are setting the beauty standards on women, like, and, like, young women that are just, like, so unrealistic, man. And, like, but, like, you watch their documentaries and it's like, oh, they live a normal life, they're fine, like, I guess I just actually have to do better, you know. And I feel like these young men are seeing that and having that same experience, being like, damn, like, if it, like, again, back to my comment, these are just, like, severely damaged, mentally ill youth that we're dealing with as the repercussion of, like, wild, rampant social media use. And, like, again, like I said, it was either, like, these kids were gonna find Tren or they were gonna find Coke. One or the other. They're just so predisposed to negative shit, like we've never seen before.
So, like, one avenue that I brought this up with so far was, like, these people basically trying to attain as quick as, like, speed run a crazy physique to be able to, like, monetize it, right? There's another aspect of this, though, right? And this is kind of this idea of, like, impact, okay? So, like...
Yeah, I guess I missed your whole point. Sorry. The monetization.
There's the monetization of it, right? And so a lot of it, too, is selling a falsehood, right? Like, you're selling a pipe dream.
Snake oil.
Exactly, right? It's like, oh, do this program that I made, and you'll get this appearance I have.
Yeah, you pomegranate seeds and drink ICE, you know, you look like me. Meanwhile, I'm spending $600 a month on gear.
Bro, probably more than that. But it's like... Yeah, I'd argue it's the gist of it. I'd argue that type of pressure is even worse for women, potentially, and maybe in that there's more avenues in which those types of schemes are hatched towards women. But, like, man, like, some of the other things I've seen, right, that I wanted to bring up with this is, like, so you have those people that are nuts, but then you have people on the other side of the spectrum that are, like, 18, and it's like, bro, it's their first year of weightlifting. And they're like, yeah, I just started my first stack, taking this much Tren, like, I'm going to be getting nuts. And it's like, bro, you've been working out for a year, man. Like, even if you're taking stacks of shit now, it's like, you're going to build up to what could have been a naturally attainable physique for you, but you're going to fuck up your endocrine system, you're going to fuck up your heart, you're going to fuck up your hormones, like, you're going to fuck up your gut. Like, all of these potential risks that are associated with this, you're going to take on in this short period when you're so early in your life, so early in your weightlifting career. And it's like to do something you could attain naturally in twice the time investment. And it's like, I guess that's really what I'm talking about, is this type of, like, attitude towards the acceptance of trading these long-term implications for these short-term perceived benefits. And there's another angle that I want to take this in, right?
Quick note, I just don't think these fucking kids understand. You don't get it, and I didn't get it either till I was older. I don't think you realize how, like, your body is, at 16 or 17, your body is, like, naturally on a fucking stack.
Bro, you're crazy.
That goes away. That stack goes away. When you hit, like, 26, 27, 30, 32, just wherever, for some guys it's different, like, that stack goes away. You no longer are, like, fired up morning till night, ready to roll through a wall at a dime drop. Mm-hmm. Like,
see, I hear that. I hear that from, like, a perceptual side. Like, I remember how I felt at 16, like, crazy dude full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah.
But, like, if you look at the data on charts, right? Let's talk about tests for a moment, right? Test doesn't actually start to drop off considerably in your life until you're in your, like, 50s, bro. Like, your test levels can vary person to person. Like, that's a natural affect. But when you look at the charted data, the real significant drop starts to happen, like, late 40s. Once you hit, like, 50s, mid-50s, it becomes more substantial.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily talking about I guess I was, like, the drop was my focal part, but my emphasis was more so supposed to be on, like, the start.
Yeah.
The start.
Like, you're already good at, if you start weightlifting at 16, you weightlift till you're 21, and you're good at it, and you're consistent, bro, you're going to be fucking jacked by the time you're 21. Like, 5 years of lifting,
think it's
bro,
like,
you're going to have probably 70% of what your max attainable physique is naturally at that point. If you're consistent for 5 years straight, eating well, keeping it in, like, you're locked in, bro.
Bro, I disagree 100%. I'd say you'd be at with a deviance ratio of 3%, man, like a margin of error, dude, like 3%, you'd be at 100% of your physical. If you started at 16 and worked out consistently, even 4 days a week, man, you don't even have to be that good. You worked out consistently and continually upped your weight for 5 years, from 16 through 21, through your most important growth and, like, developmental stage, when your body has the most amount of growth hormones in it at the time. Like, dude, you're gonna it's not even close. Like, I look at that and it's like, I'm so far from when all this shit was first pumped into my system, and all this growth has already happened and solidified and not growing anymore. I'm not talking about muscles. Like, I am talking about muscles, but I'm talking about everything else, man. Like, the intangibles, man. Like, how good you can get at certain movements at a young age, man, while your body's developing. How you can develop movements into your body developing, like, through joint movement, through X, Y, Z, man. Like, you look at kids who play a sport, for example, until they're like 13 or 14, and they're like pretty mid, man, and they turn 14, and, like, not only did they grow 6 inches taller, but they got exponentially fucking better almost overnight, dude. Their hand-eye increased, their vision increased, their passing increased, their strength increased, their balance increased, like, overnight, man, because their body just got an injection. Like a superhuman injection from the gods, man. Like, natural piss and vinegar straight to the bloodstream, man.
You just, like, drank the Black Panther flower juice.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. But, like, there's nothing like that ever again. It's a one-time thing that happens for men at the age of, like, 14 to 17, where you just get juiced up, and you get, like, 5 years of it to really, really take advantage of it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd say you're in the prime of your life, like you said, you know, like, you're in the best physical shape you've ever been in your 30s, right? And, like, that's very well may be true, you know, but it's just like, fuck, man, you know, but the potential, I think, is what I'm hung up on.
I hear that.
The potential you had when you were 16 to 21 physically, it's a landslide compared to the potential we have now in our late 20s, even 30s, let alone what it's going to look like in our 40s and 50s.
I think what you're really talking about is, like, the ceiling of that potential. It's like, if you're active and engaged at this time, when, like you say, you have all these natural hormones firing, like, you're at a point where your body is just primed to develop, and you're actively engaging in shit with that, your rate of acquisition of skill, mass, effectiveness is just going to be so fast and so dialed in. But another consideration to have, and this is kind of the argument on like mastery, right, is neuroplasticity, right? Neuroplasticity remains strong as long as you engage with that process. So it's like, I think when we talk about upper potential of, say, physical components and things, right? Yeah, at 40 playing hockey, you're not going to be faster than you were at 22 playing hockey, but game IQ develops, your specific skills inventory has had so much longer to develop. This is saying, like, we're looking at, like, say, a pro, right? NHL player, right? End career versus start a career, right? You trade these aspects of potency. And a similar thing happens because all activities aren't equal in that age of activation versus time and commitment, relative to skills development, relative to like capacity of growth. However, you make a really good point that you, as a young person, you have this window where it's just so much more accessible to have those gains and to have those improvements, right? And that can't be knocked.
But then again, that also brings in the argument of, if you're already in like a charged state, man, why not fucking supercharge it?
And if I guess, like, it's fair, and maybe that's why some people do. But I think at the end of the day,
you look at these D1 football players who start taking juice at 15 and they're 6'6", 270, run a 4.2 40-yard dash. Like, the development these kids have is unnatural.
But again, that's linked to a monetization component. If competing in an ultra competitive field.
Yeah.
If you can get a 1% up, dude, you take that 1%.
You have to.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that isn't even to mention things like sports recovery from injury. Football players, one of the highest injury rates of any sport. Knees, shoulders, necks, spines, like.
Yeah.
Bro,
how bad do you want to be him?
Good movie. Good tie-in. Good tie-in, man. He's getting the blood.
Take this injection, man. Trust me.
This is my master's blood.
Yeah. Whoa.
That shit was fucking crazy, bro. That's what it was.
No, it wasn't. It was all the blood. No, it was the blood.
Was.
It was the blood from the greatest.
From him.
No, from the greatest quarterbacks of the NFL before him.
Yeah, but that had been building in his body, and then he was getting the injections of that into him. So it had been like distilled through all these people's bodies, and then it's getting put into him.
Yeah.
That's how it was. So it was it was his master's blood.
Why are you calling them master?
Because relative to the position they held, right? He like came in there as like the student. I mean that in terms of like the position they held.
Okay.
So like coming back to this idea of like fame, right? So talk about it from the physical aspect, right? These men trading their longevity and health for a quick stint of like something that for some of them is naturally achievable, and other shit that people are using to sell shit to make money, selling a falsehood. Man, totally different angle with this, but the same thing with fame, bro. I want to talk about idols and kind of like the lack of idols that I feel kids have nowadays. But before that, we need to talk about the obvious angle that I'm sure the listeners are thinking about when we start talking about fame. Man, OnlyFans. Cat's out of the bag, brother.
What do you mean?
So, I was reading this story. It was like some child actress just turned like 18.
Hate to just know immediately who you're talking about. But
Do you?
Yeah,
okay.
I know who you're talking about.
I don't know her name. I can't
remember her
the
name.
Story, but apparently she opened an OnlyFans.
Fuck, no one's gonna believe me that I don't know her name. I'm trying to remember though.
I bet you're thinking of each letter in your head right now.
No,
you know
for
exactly
real though.
what it is.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen the name.
But anyways, so she opens an OnlyFans. Right?
Seen the name. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, the moment she turns 18, literally the minute she turns 18, she opens an OnlyFans, raking in like $2 million a month.
Made like $1 million a week.
Yeah,
I think is what it was,
Jesus
right?
Christ.
And so it's like you think about that. It's like I mentioned impact before, right? Bro, what the fuck kind of message does that send to the youth women of today?
Oh yeah, show your
like,
fucking clam and we'll give you fucking whatever you want.
And like, as risque as it might be for like
it's crazy.
A married man with a kid to be talking about, the positions of, or even trying to understand what the mental position of like a young woman of today is. You know what I mean? Like I'll set that right off the bat. But like, bro, impact, right? So we see these things like.
Yo, all of my girls are talking about selling foot pics. They're all. Dude, that's like a common theme. Every girl I chill with is like, we should sell fucking feet pics.
So there's like, again, right? This comes back to this idea of like, you need a customer.
I feel like that's the boys being like,
sell a product,
I feel like I hate to like equivocate one thing that like severely harms people. Although I'm also in the at the same time, I'm not going to downplay the seriousness of porn addiction. So you can't fucking win these days. There's always someone you're fucking offending. Like I'm trying to be like, man, fuck, I can't even know what I'm trying to be like now. So I'm trying to be like, yo, you can't. Okay, so I feel like, I don't know, like a comparison that I feel like is bad is like, but also kind of works, is like comparing these OnlyFans chicks to like dudes who sell drugs.
Okay, yeah.
Like, how many times have the boys just been chilling and been like, fuck, man, we should have just fucking sold crack. You know? Like,
I mean, like,
just way easier. But, like, you know, I can roll out. I'm a tall, scary dude. I could fucking just go buy some crack and sell it, I bet. Make some money, dude. Make more money than I've ever made in my life, dude. There's risk attached, obviously. You know, what if my mom saw?
Yeah, bro, you have someone's crazy uncle like, coming to your window at 4 a.m. being like, "Hey, open up."
Yeah, so apply that exact scenario to an OnlyFans chick, and everything I just said sticks.
Fair.
All the way down to some dude's crazed uncle banging on her window at 4 a.m., bro. Like, it's literally the exact same shit. But one severely harms people, like drugs, but also then, like, to, like, not offend everybody again, you know, like, one also severely harms people because porn addiction is a serious thing.
Yeah, but I think, like,
so
fair in that you're talking about two people each in their own circumstance
and I'm not saying
a product that allows them to fiscally benefit by furthering addiction.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm fucking chilling, you know? Like, I don't really care. I'll let the world sort out both of these parties. Like, I'm not privy to either. I buy my weed from the government and get my fucking porn for free, you know? So, like, I'm not out here, like, trying to, like, you know, contribute to, like, either of these systems that are alive, you know? But, like, either way, man, they're alive and well, and it's just kind of like, I don't even know.
And, like, this isn't to, like, slam people who benefit from OnlyFans. What I'm talking about
or
here
selling
is,
crack.
Like, what I'm talking about here is, like, the idea of the social impact of people engaging with these types of services, right? So, like, you need an army of creeps that want to look at feet and are willing to pay money monthly or in just a wad for a chance to look at someone's foot. You know what I mean? Or it's like, you know, you take it up a notch and it's like, okay, people showing like TNA, and it's like...
Or not even take it down a notch. You have these girls who are being like, yo, follow, like I'm pretty sure this... I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, and I'm pretty sure this is not for sure. This is pretty sure, because I don't actually know her name or any of this. But I'm pretty sure this chick. Yeah, again, I don't know her name. I'm pretty sure she didn't even post nudes on her OnlyFans.
Okay.
But was charging like $200-something.
Okay, word.
To unlock it and get like a bikini pic.
Okay, word.
Like, some of these girls are straight clowning these fucking guys. Dude, that'd be like buying a bag, again, to bring it back to crack, and it's just fucking
baking powder
in that fucking hoe, dude. You open that hoe and it's just baking powder.
Yeah.
Bro, heads are gonna roll.
Oh, yeah.
Like, one of these chicks is gonna fucking sell a bikini pic to the wrong guy. God forbid. Because there's no... I don't know, man. We should change the topic, dude. Like, I feel like that was crazy.
So, like...
Where are you going with this? Because I can't come any further. I can't come any further with you on this.
It's fame, right? So it's like people are doing things that, in one sense, you could argue is harmful to themselves. In the sense of the physical thing, like the gear abuse, man, certainly harmful. Maybe less so with the example around OnlyFans, but I think it comes back to this idea of like this desire for fame, man, which we can boil down to two things, which is avenues of monetization.
Like, I'm tearing the house down, sorry.
And measures of like social acceptance, okay? And essentially like a social graduation, you know? But it's an interesting, it's a duality, because like the people that'll engage with something like OnlyFans, right? And they'll like pay money to get access to essentially like intimate content that someone's creating, right?
They're already lost.
Lost, man. But here's the thing too. It's like you exist in this vacuum where it's like the types of people that, you know, let's say these people are like one day, you know, they're 21 now, but maybe one day they want to have like a family and a life and whatever, right? And a partner and this or that and do shit. And like this is a phase for them, you know? But it's like, one, how do you handle having 100,000 eyes on you constantly, gratifying everything that you're doing, paying you for what you're doing, and then just transition to having like something that resembles like a regular life? Like,
so I'm reading something right now. Foucault, we talked about this.
Yeah.
There's an excerpt where he talks about, I just read this one. He talks about how society, how either way, let me actually, I have it written down. I loved it. Okay, so essentially,
Foucault's got some bars.
Yeah, so it's this excerpt about the cycle of prohibition. Okay, so essentially what it is that so if you, it's really simple. Live your life authentically and be nullified from society.
Mm-hmm.
Live a nullified life and be accepted by society.
Yeah.
Crazy to if you really think about that. So essentially living like, if you want to break it down for just like some random guy listening, you know, living authentically, what does that look like, man? You know, like you want to fuck off to a homestead, you want to get a spot, you want to raise your own chickens, your own food, no one's fucking with you, no tax, no bills, no government knocking, you're running your own show, man, you got what you need. Okay, what does that come with? Like, you're satisfying your personal need. What does that come with? You're now cut off from the medical system. You're now cut off from any like accessible things. You can't drive. You don't pay tax. You don't have a driver's license. You're not paying tax. You're not paying insurance. You can't use the roads. Like, you sacrifice everything that you need to be what you want. Mm-hmm. Versus, if you want everything, you have to sacrifice everything you need.
I like that, and I'll reframe it a little bit differently, just in terms of like authenticity versus like social acceptance. It's a really big thing that'll you'll come up in different things in therapy, right? One of the biggest believed causes of like anxiety and like depression is separation from authentic self-expression and experience, right? And so you brought up a really good version of that. And Foucault's thoughts kind of echo this, where it's like, in order to be accepted by society, you got to engage in a social contract.
Can I quickly interject, so we don't lose that point? You said the biggest cause of depression was what?
I shouldn't say biggest. I said one of the most, like, what's believed to be a major influence on depression, anxiety, is removal from authentic expression of self.
So that's what you're learning in your
That's
education.
What I've learned before, and what I've learned from listening to.
So what I'm learning in my lectures this week, what I just learned and heard, is depression and anxiety. One of the biggest causes of that is being removed from societal in-groups.
Yeah, and so
these two things both coincide very nicely.
Yeah,
very awfully, but very nicely.
And there's a two-sided aspect of it where on the one hand, like you mentioned, if you're completely removed from society, yeah, you don't have to put up with anybody's bullshit, but you also don't get to share in any of the great things about it. At the other side of that, if engaging with the social contract that you have to, be it
means that you can't.
Your job, your relationships, your family, your financial position, your social position, if all of that leaves you hating yourself, life, those around you, and engaging negatively with it, you're in hell in both scenarios. If you're interested in advertising on the Garage Chats podcast, please reach out to our team at garagechatspod@gmail.com. Thank you. You know?
So essentially that's what Foucault says everybody is trapped in.
Is that cycle. And so the way out of that, I would offer, is you have to find a way to authentically express yourself in a way that's genuine and meaningful, while also staying within the frame of the social contract that you have to maintain.
So I need to read further, man, but like that's obviously where my readings left off. I haven't had it analyzed by any of my profs any further, but like, yeah, I'd be interested to know like if he offers an explanation on how to get out of it as well, and where you align with that.
It's a great thought-provoking statement to kind of sit on, because that statement is going to mean something and connect differently for every person who hears it.
Say it again.
It's a great statement to like sit with, because it's going to mean something different to whoever hears it. Like,
no, say what you said.
What do you mean? That's what I said.
What do you mean? Am I tripping?
You might be, bro.
No, you're tripping.
Oh, man.
You're stoned ape, dude.
No. But yeah, what I was talking about is like, you know, this obsession with fame, man, and like wanting to get there because there's this tangible benefit that society has created for engaging with that. Like, are you familiar with the term audience capture?
I mean, I can grasp the idea.
So, like, audience capture is essentially this psychological phenomenon for people that, like, previously to this, it was people in a lot of things with the public eye where they were engaging a lot in commentary, just discourse otherwise. Now it's a lot more focused on, like, social media, because that's where so many interactions happen. That's the avenues that people use for discourse nowadays, right? So, like, audience capture is kind of how it sounds. It's like, it's these subtle ways that you start shaping your actions, your beliefs, your expression of self to best fit, whether you want to call it a brand, whether you want to call it, you know, the acceptability profile that your audience has. And so you start being less and less of yourself in order to be more and more of what grants you that gratification from your audience.
Audience shaping.
Yeah. And so, like, this shit is wild, man. And I think about that, you know, like, you're a young person, right? Like, you're one of these girls that we talked about, right? That was like, has notoriety for whatever reason, and now they're of age and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna make a quick buck posting shit on OnlyFans. And they do. And it's like, you're 19 and you've got $1 million. And it's like, holy fuck. Like, what? I'm in like probably 1% of all the women in the world that are in this position at my age. Like, what? Like, this is wild, right? And so again, that fucks with you a little bit. And obviously you get used to that, man. You're paying for shit. You're getting shit happening in your life you never had before. You're like, damn, I gotta keep this shit going. And so, like, you come back to this idea of Foucault that you mentioned, right? Where in order to have this acceptance, you have to pay
a little bit of yourself, man.
A little bit of yourself, right? Similar to these guys taking gear, man. They're paying a little bit of their longevity at a time, a little bit of their future health in order to maintain this window, right? And what I think it comes back to, man, is like, yeah, we have a detachment from the youth of today. I think there's this big sense of nihilism in the type of world that they come into, you know, with the prices of living so high, with job prospects looking worse than they ever have, despite unemployability being higher than it has been in recent years. It's like,
oh, fuck them kids, I don't even have a job yet.
Yeah, man. And it's like, you know, in order to even be in the running, it's like you need 8 years experience for a starting position.
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck is that? And so like I can understand from the perspective of how I felt at that age and the type of world that I was in compared to what these kids of today are facing. And like, yeah, man, fuck, I'd be disenchanted too if that was what I felt. Not to mention that we have this measure of physical disconnection with one another because we engage so much with social media. But like, I think a big part of that is that, man, again, idols. Like, who did you idolize as a kid when you were growing up? Like, what's a idol that you thought of as you were like, wow, like this person?
Bro, I'm not gonna say it.
You're not gonna say it. Okay.
Like, obviously there were some sick athletes and shit, but
I'll talk about a general sense then, okay?
No, I'm gonna say it. I'll tell you, it's funny.
Okay.
Bro, I thought Hannah Montana was the coolest motherfucking person. Like, I idolized that chick.
That's
like,
fair, bro. That's fair.
Like, on top, I had, like, a lot of boys. Like, I love Marcus Naslund, love Brendan Morrison, love fucking Ryan Kessler. Like, all the boys.
Hard to grow up as a young boy in Canada and not, like, some sports team.
Roberto
and some
Luongo,
crazy
man. Yeah,
player,
like,
you know?
just loved the Canucks. Loved all the Canucks players, man. But, like, I just, like, Family Channel kid growing up, man. And, like, fucking Hannah Montana had my heart, dude. I just loved her to death, man. But, like, also thought she was so fucking cool, man. Like, wanted to like have the male equivalent of her life.
Mm-hmm.
Like
her life in the show, or her life is this like persona like Miley Cyrus getting this at this age kind of thing.
Like the show.
Okay, yeah.
Like the show.
Yeah,
I was just enamored by the show, dude.
Yeah,
like I don't know what the fuck it was. Like, I don't know. I hope someone gets it.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
So like I'll talk about it in the sense of like a general thing, right? It's like, bro, you're a young kid growing up in the fucking late 80s, 90s, bro. You're watching Mike score and just do this crazy shit, man. You're seeing like the greatest player of his era.
Okay, I'm so new. They said Hannah Montana. That's crazy. I'm so baked, dude. I thought that.
Man,
I thought that would land a bit funny. That was like a you know, like a year or two transition. Our stage. Like, I'm thinking like Jake Paul.
I'll give you one of the
Jake Paul.
Okay, word. Yeah. kind of one of the later gens, but like.
I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe it's just like hockey players.
So one for me that I'll talk about. There was like a personal one. Man, Steve Irwin, Crocodile.
Oh, yo, yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
Like so sick.
Man, I fuck with that guy.
Knowledgeable dude. Was into dope shit. He's saving fucking forests like with his money. Like dude. Sick dude, man.
Man, the Pratt brothers too, man. I loved those boys.
Okay, word.
From Zubumafu.
Oh yeah, okay.
And they have the Critters show.
Okay.
After, bro, like, fuck, I love those boys. They really like kicked like a huge animal part into me too. Fuck, I love those boys.
Yeah, man. And so like again, right? Let's go back to the analogy of like Michael Jordan, right? Mm-hmm. Just man, so far beyond what everybody else was doing in his era, you know? Like, just crazy to the point where like if you were a fan of like that sport, you knew who he was. There was this like aura about him, right?
Dude, you have to be a fan of the sport. Michael Jordan was crazy.
Yeah, bro. And so, fair enough. And so, like, you think of these young kids, man, that were growing up, they're watching Mike score, and they're literally like, man, like, that's just, like, incredible. Like, this is so far beyond what I've ever seen, what I've ever experienced, what I thought was possible. Transcendent level of like mastery, right? And one thing I want to bring up with that is that, man, there was distance. So there was distance between that kid watching him and Mike. And for some, an almost unachievable distance. Right? Based on their physical quality trait, like so many factors, right? There was a distance between themselves and their idol that feasibly could not be bridged by vast majority of people who idolized him, okay? And I think in a way that kind of gave this power to him as an idol, where it was like, it was something, the point of an idol is aspirational. So you should aspire to get as close as you can to that person for whatever value you draw from that idolization. I
can't believe I fucking said Hannah Montana, bro. That was a crazy bar.
It's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna want to make you move.
That's Miley Cyrus, fella. That's Miley Cyrus. Good song, though.
Good song. But yeah, man. Versus nowadays, I feel like, who are the idols for these kids, man? Streamers.
Dude,
OnlyFans models,
I show Speed.
bro.
I show Speed. Shout out Speed, dude.
He's pretty crazy.
Speed's a good dude.
He's pretty crazy. He's doing some wild stuff. I think he's gonna have like a continual, acclamation.
He's gonna be successful. Forever.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. He's getting rewarded because he's a good guy, man.
But then it's like these kids. It's like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber.
I want to be like Speed.
Be a streamer.
Yeah.
Or it's like,
that's literally it.
You're a girl that was in a thing small that people know. She's like, oh, I'm gonna go on OnlyFans and make a $1 by the time I'm 19. And it's just like, man, who are the idols that these kids have these days, bro? And the point I'm making with that is that the relative distance between someone who, say, wants to be a streamer and the people they watch, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of metrics that go into building success in a social media format.
I think it's super easy to follow. But
it's a format you can follow, and that distance from them is so much smaller than the distance to that kid in Michael Jordan.
And I feel like the reason why, though, is like, just look at where the money is. When kids that were idolizing Michael Jordan growing up, man, there was fucking... Dude, there was like... The money wasn't getting a normal job. Like, even these fucking NBA players were getting paid like $200,000 a year, man, back then. Like, some of them, like... Wasn't that sick, dude? Like, it was sick, but it's like, also, like... I don't know, man. Obviously, it was a dream, but like, I look at it and it was just like way more feasible. Like, dude, you can get an entry-level job on the internet making fucking what you'd make getting an entry-level job here. Like, going out and doing it in person. And like, as the money like has slowly like shifted into the hands of like these massive internet companies and everything, including advertisements, like, you name it, all runs through social media platforms, and everybody gets a chunk, man. Like, the money is all gravitating there. So everybody that's growing up in these generations, with these being the leading companies, how we grew up with fucking timber companies and mining companies, and all of our buddies got fucking trades jobs, and like some of them got office jobs, and they were like, oh, you're not gonna work, buddy. Like, you work in an office, buddy. Like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, 100%, you know, and then, like, all of a sudden now, it's like the internet now runs everything, so you just have kids just moving to the internet for jobs. That's all I see it as, man. Like, I don't see it as, like, anything more complicated than that. I just see that the world of business has completely opened up. It's a gold rush. It's a gold rush. We're the fucking boomers looking, being like, why are all these guys moving to the West Coast right now? They're idiots. They're chasing gold. Fuck, they're getting rich, man.
Do you remember what that old saying was about people, about what to do when a gold rush is happening?
No.
If you want to get rich in a gold rush, sell shovels.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, man. Sell shovels. So, like... That puts it out there, man. What's your shovel?
Yeah. Well, you've heard my side. You've heard Joe's side. If you'd love to leave a comment, let us know your side. We'd love to check it out. Chat with you more on that. Otherwise, I think that's a wrap, Joe.
Tell us what your shovel is, man. Like, what do you think is going to bridge the gap?
Like... in terms of like what I was talking about today with like the fame culture and otherwise, or like me personally for myself in like my world, my life?
To the viewers. Like, what's going to bridge the gap between these kids and like And these jobs and this content and this direction, this gold rush. Bill said, when a gold rush hits, what do you sell? Shovels.
You sell the tool that allows you to engage with the thing. Because everybody needs one.
So it can't just be an iPhone. It can't just be a phone. It can't just be an app. It's got to be something else because those have been done. So what's your shovel?
What's your shovel?
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, brother. Good stuff.